What, what
Yeah.
what do you think are like the key things that you've learned in this time? Because obviously, you started with just uploading a couple of videos here and there on Facebook and YouTube, and then, as you said, it took you like 3 years to really get some steam going on YouTube. So, like
Mm.
in this period, let's call it that, yeah, the last 5 years. So what are the key things that you've learned in that time about both, releasing things on YouTube and also just in
Mm.
terms of your music? Like, what are the key lessons?
It's a good question. I don't know if I know the answer, to be honest. Like I say, like it's weird because in terms of YouTube, like I say, let me answer the last question briefly and just say I was uploading like metal stuff. I was uploading random little clips.
Hmm.
And then the moment it started to change somewhat, I might have had about 50 subscribers maybe at the time. Maybe not even that. And Liam Gallagher brought out his album, what's it called? It's
His
embarrassing.
first solo album, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've covered every song on the album almost. Do you think I know what the name of it was? Is
Oh
it? It
God.
wasn't As You Were. It was the one before it. I'm going crazy. You know the album I'm talking about anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I remember it got a lot of publicity, and it was just interesting because it was obviously, it sounds really obvious to say, but Liam had never done solo stuff before. Noel had always done solo stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this was Liam's first outing, and it was very. Actually, no, I tell a lie. No, he had his own band, but this was still his
Yeah,
first record under his name solely.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he was with BDI in the meantime, and then he had a couple of years
that's
off.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I better not let anyone that I know that likes him go listen to this because I can't believe the name escapes me. But anyway,
Hey, I'm living
that,
in Manchester now, so that's probably like sacrilege not knowing this
wow.
information.
Well, we'll edit this part out. Now we'll play a track from Liam Gallagher and then just go over the top. Yeah, but point being, anyway, regardless of what the name of the album was, a great album. I remember I heard, actually, he did a gig. He did a gig, and then on that gig, he played some Oasis songs, and then I heard Paper Crown. He did Paper Crown in the gig. And I heard Paper Crown. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. It's like the best thing I've heard since Oasis, especially definitely from Liam. Well, I did like some VDI songs. And I didn't expect anyone to watch my video, but I learned it straight away. The day of the gig, I was at my mum's and I played the guitar, learned it. I uploaded the video like the next morning.
Oh
I
wow.
had this idea in my head that I wanted to be the first one to upload it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I uploaded it, and then the video got instantly about 13,000 views in like 2 days because everyone's heard the song and going mad for it. But even at that time, I got a couple of hundred subscribers, maybe I got 100 or so at the time, and that was amazing. So I thought, oh, and then I heard the other songs on the album. I was like, well, let me try that. So I got into doing that, and then by the end of it, I'd almost covered the whole album. At that point, I started to gain like maybe 200. I would say I was probably on about 350 subs by the end of this. So that was my first kind of lesson that, like, if you're going to upload something, and
Upload
people
covers.
respond well to it,
Okay,
yeah, people
yeah.
respond well to it and they like it, then stick with that theme,
Right.
So I did the whole album. I mean, I did the whole album because I wanted to do it anyway, but then I started uploading Oasis songs and the momentum started to like slowly build from there, I would say. So
Okay.
the first
We
key lesson I learned there is if you get people, sorry to stop you, if you get people like interested in something, then you should stick with that theme, and go with that for a while. Go on, you want to say something? Sorry.
Oh no, the only reason I sometimes do this is just if I think of an interesting follow-up. I was just literally going to say, did you get a lot of start getting a lot of requests from your fans from that point onwards? Is that when that started?
Yeah, here and there. I mean, this is looking back on it now. I mean, at the time it was like the big. I couldn't believe that 5 people commented on my video. To me, that was mental, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
loving it. But yeah, I got the odd requests here and there, and then I started doing a lot of Oasis songs. Did a couple of BDI songs, did some Noel songs. And then around that point, somebody contacted me on YouTube and said, oh, there's a group on Facebook called Pete's Musical Oasis. And they're that he's a guy that did YouTube tutorials on Oasis songs, and I joined that, and then that was another big part for me as well. I guess the key point you could call there was like sharing other platforms. I don't know, but I joined this Facebook group, and we used to share all our YouTube videos in there, and everyone. It was like a supportive community where everyone goes to watch each other's videos, comments on each other's videos. Yeah, that was quite a big part of the development, I think, as well.
Are you still part of this? Because I had this question written down, actually. It's also known as PMO Lads.
How do you know about it? Yeah, PMO, yeah.
Because the way I discovered this was when I was looking on your Spotify and stuff, it was listed as a playlist. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then it's obviously a collection of different musicians all in one place. So I figured it was probably like, as you say, like a community. But so it's different solo musicians supporting each other, essentially.
Yeah, not all musicians. It's just a place for people who like to play guitar, want to express themselves. I mean, it was a private group at the time.
Right.
So like you say, it was just a like-minded group of people. That was actually, the more I talk about it, that was massive, because you start to build relationships with people, which is one thing I've noticed is very, 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 very important.
Yes.
As well as good at playing guitar, singing. You need to get on with people, and it was decent there because, like I say, you've got natural support. Every time you release a video, you know there's going to be 20, 30 people, because you're commenting on their videos as well, that are all going to comment, all going to like it. Some of them might share it to their friends on their Facebook. So that was really good. I'm not on it anymore, to answer your question, because I'm not on Facebook at all. I quit Facebook, but
all right. How comes?
Started to get a bit dark around the lockdown starting, to be honest. Sort of things that people's attitudes and things people were saying got very political, and it was time for me to
that's always time to dart out, isn't it, when that starts happening?
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I only use Facebook purely as an advertising tool and to keep in touch with family and friends now. Might should share the odd meme, but other than that, just yeah. But fair play, man. Fair play. Moving it forward, given that we've spoken a lot about, you know, you doing your covers and how that sort of happened and why you do that, would you say you've had much sort of success with promoting your original music, given that, you know, your I suppose like fan base on YouTube is largely built from that expectation of those covers? Because obviously I've heard other musicians who you know who regularly do this have kind of said that sometimes they get, you know, a bit of pushback, like people go like, oh, I don't want to hear this, like, when you're going to do your covers instead. What's the general kind of reception to you releasing original music?
Pretty much exactly what you said. Yeah, definitely. I think I'm definitely known and liked way more for my, don't get me wrong, I mean, outside of the internet world, the magical world of the internet, I do, not since lockdown, but I do gigs that, you know, I've been offered gigs loads of times just to play purely originals, you know. So in the real world, I'm probably more well known for my original music than my covers, but the covers thing started on YouTube really just because I always had this idea that, like, if I get big on YouTube through covers, then I'll post an original song, and then when I post my original song, all these thousands of people will be like, oh my God, you know, that was in my head. I was guaranteed that was going to happen. I knew it. And then reality set in, and people like the covers more, which is fine, to be honest, because I don't mind, you know, now. I'm kind of happy to I just like people listening to what I'm doing and people enjoying it, regardless of whether I wrote it or not, you know. It's all good for me, so.
But with what you're saying, it's not like you're saying that they hate your original music. They just prefer the covers. So that would imply that there is some positivity there. So what's the general kind of feedback you're getting for your original music?
Good. People love it. People really love it. I mean, I've had one of my songs, my recent song was played on my local radio station.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, a few times. It's track of the week. And like, they've got me down for like future events and stuff. I mean, my original music does do okay. Funny enough, actually, before anything on YouTube ever took off, somehow a page with 1 million followers on Facebook found one of my original songs and shared it.
Oh,
on
fantastic.
Facebook,
Yeah.
and it got like however many hundreds of thousands of views there, and didn't get any on YouTube. Obviously,
Oh,
classic.
typical. That's
Yeah, so
typical.
my first actual like sort of notice of me taking off was through my original music. So I would definitely say like people don't dislike it. It's obviously very different from the bands that I cover, because that's just the way things are, isn't it? You know, you just make what you make.
Right. Right.
You can't just copy. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not just going to copy what I get popular covers. You know, I'm just going to do what I think sounds good. So yeah.